I think people miss the streams, so we're gonna get back into streaming. That's gonna be based. Yeah, she hasn't tweeted in 8 hours. She hasn't tweeted in 8 hours. Elon, all these guys, they were posting stuff as the election was going on. Even when Trump was like flipped away, even when it flipped for Kamala Harris and stuff, they're still, posting and everything. Elon's posting pics of him with Trump and everything, and there's a lively atmosphere there, even though, you don't really know who's going to win. Nobody really knew who was going to win. She didn't have that. So she doesn't come across as accessible. That was, you know what? That was a big problem with her campaign. That was something I noticed. I posted about this on a few different occasions. There would be accounts that would post like clips or photos of Kamala Harris and saying like Kamala Harris refused to speak to the press and just got on the plane and headed out there, and she wore sunglasses and she looked, I guess she looked cool was what they were saying. And there's pro Kamala accounts in the replies explaining how that's actually badass and how that makes her look cool. She doesn't have to, you're not entitled to her time or whatever. And I'm just like, she's not running to be like some e-celebrity like Britney Spears type pop singer who like her marketing is that she's mysterious and elitist or whatever, or whatever. And and I'm not saying Spears was elitist. I don't think she actually was elitist. I just think she didn't want to have to deal with the paparazzi, and I don't blame her for that, right? I mean, look at how much of a mess her psychology and everything went to from all the years of harassment and everything from people and stuff. So I don't blame her, right? I'm not saying Spears is an elitist. I think she's one of the more down to earth celebrities in that sense. She's also kind of crazy, but she wasn't really like. She didn't deserve a lot of that stress. So, but what I will say here is Kamala wasn't running for that. She was running to be a public civil servant. She was running to be your president, and she's too good for you. You're not entitled to ask her a question. Really? You're not entitled to ask the president a question when you're the press? When you're the press and you're there, but she's too good. She's too busy for you. Okay. That's fine. She can be too busy, but she can also be too busy to win the election. Okay, great. That's fine. That's fine. So that was a losing strategy right off the bat. You might say like, oh, well, the media, they're just going to ask her gotcha questions and stuff. And I think that was generally the vibe that, they're going to be hostile towards her. So what? Your strategy is you're going to win the presidency by ignoring the press because they're hostile, and you're not going to talk to the people because you're too good for them. But you will talk to Liz Cheney. You won't sit down with Joe Rogan, but you will talk to Liz Cheney, and you'll talk to her on a few different occasions. And you might do some town halls and stuff, but it's in that very beltway-pilled, elitist sort of context. Well, okay, have fun losing the election, and that's what she's doing tonight, I guess. She's too good to post. She's too good to talk about it. She's too good to talk to the press. I guess, well, I don't know. I mean, Arthur said that she conceded earlier. Or that somebody told him that she conceded. I'm gonna try to look that up because I don't know. I've just been watching the whole Trump stuff, right? If she did concede, okay, good for her. If she didn't, that's embarrassing. So maybe she's too good to concede. I mean, what I will say here is, if she had conceded to him, wouldn't that have popped up on the headlines on any of the news that we've been watching tonight on C-SPAN or PBS? Wouldn't they have made a mention of that? They've made a mention of like Senate campaigns and like who's won different Senate seats. Don't you think that would have been an alert if Harris called Trump? I'm not saying you're wrong, but somebody told you that. I don't think she did. I don't think she did, because I feel like if she did, that would have been news. I feel like that would have been news. I feel like I would have saw it on X or on C-SPAN or on AP, or when we were on Politicrat, it would have been on MSNBC or something, right? Like I say, he's a bit more of a cowboy when it comes to DMCA violations. He's a bit more like Icarus there, right? He flies really close to the sun. I don't know. Is he going to have a channel in a year? Who knows, right? But no, I just, if she didn't call Trump yet, what is she waiting for? What, MSNBC to call the election? Okay, I guess she's going to call him in a week. Pretty sure Hillary Clinton conceded the night of the election. I mean, say what you will about Hillary Clinton. Look, I'm not a fan of Hillary Clinton. I always thought she was kind of an elitist, right? Um, you know, like I was talking with Politicrat earlier, even when I was a hawk, right? I was a populist, and I like populist figures generally. I like working class, either working class people or people that champion the working class, right? But here's the thing about Hillary Clinton, though. She did have people around her. She did have a following. There were people there with her that were prepared for her to lose and that were there to celebrate if she won. Harris has nobody around her. I mean, I saw that they've pulled away. They're not filming that anymore. I'm guessing what happened was the security or whoever it was, the detail around the campaign, they probably told the media, hey, look, stop filming. This is embarrassing. You're just filming an empty stage and empty seats. And it's like, that woman's the vice president of the United States, and everybody's like, I've got to go home. I got to get McDonald's or something. And it's like there are important people there that would have been there that don't have time to watch her lose. Like, so that's embarrassing. That's how little they actually care about her, right? And you know what? I'm guessing a lot of them, I don't know, this is just speculation at this point. A lot of them probably thought, well, would Jill and Joe Biden like it if we stuck around too long here? Probably not. I know for a fact Jill wasn't too happy with Joe Biden not being the nominee anymore. I know there was a lot of leaks about that she was angry and she was very vicious towards people in the Harris campaign. And so those people in the Harris campaign are like, oh, well, she lost. I guess, do we still want jobs? No, we like Joe Biden again now or whatever. I don't know. So they left. So, like, I'm guessing somebody said, no, you're not filming this anymore because it's embarrassing and we don't want you filming empty seats. Hillary Clinton didn't have empty seats. Even in the darkest hour for them, there were people there that were like, yeah, they supported her. They campaigned for her. They wanted to see her, right? And Kamala, she can't even tweet. She can't even tweet. Not only does she mumble and fumble and cackle, she can't even tweet. She can't even tweet. So what does that mean? So I'm just going to post right now. Where's Kamala Harris? Is she going to concede to Trump? And, you know, we're going to wrap that up. We're going to wrap this up, I think. We're going to have that be like a standalone video. You know, what's the deal with Kamala Harris, basically? That's really sad behavior. So she should have conceded by now. I mean, it's obvious. Like, because if she doesn't, what she's saying is she thinks that as the night goes on, there's a chance that everything will change around and she'll actually win. But nobody believes that. Democrats don't believe that. Republicans don't believe that. Does she think she can still win? Does she think she can still win? Where's Kamala Harris? So, wow. That's amazing. Biden 2028. Oh no, Biden can still win. Biden can still win. Now there's a narrative around Biden. Hey, look, he would have won. Biden would have won. You know what? I'm going to post about that. That's kind of funny. Biden can still win. No, Biden 2028. That's going to be the new meme. So here's Ted Cruz. I guess we could listen to Ted Cruz. You know, I'm not really too much a fan of this guy. So.
Who has stood strong for prosecuting violent criminals. And I want to thank every Texan across our great state.
Texas.
This fight, who worked and who fought for Texas. I want to congratulate Colin Allred on a hard-fought campaign. And I want to say to all of those who didn't support me, you have my word that I will fight for you, for your jobs, for your safety, and for your constitution.
I like how I was replying to one of these folks saying how, look, I think a lot of folks know Trump and Vance won't do all they promised, but they saw 4 years of Biden and Harris, and so they voted for Trump as harm reduction. I was replying to Dreamleaf, who's like nominally like a socialist or whatever. And then she's got, I guess, one of her followers there says, the stock market is at record highs, trying to school me. It's like, oh, okay, I guess they're socialists like Wall Street. Very cool. Okay, great. Like, here's the problem with that. Most people don't have stocks. Most people don't have money for that. 80% of your country lives paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so what? The CEO of Starbucks has a good portfolio. Okay, great. Why do workers care? Okay. Wait, aren't you guys supposed to be the ones that would make that point? This is what I was saying earlier to Politica and those guys. Like, the left in the West is so soy pilled and completely co-opted. It's embarrassing. So it's like the left in China has nukes and a standing army and will literally put commissars on the board of your company to monitor your activities to make sure you're not scamming the people in the country and the workers. And then there's us. Our left does Chaz and basically does the pronouns memes. Okay, great. Sad. I happen to be born on this side of the ocean. Okay, great. So how are we going to make our country great? So that's sad. That's sad. But, you know, I am, you know, I've obviously got criticisms of Trump. I've got numerous criticisms of Trump, namely his, like, completely fealty towards Israel, right? But I'm also kind of happy to see very soy liberals cry. So, I might like cruise near my browser. yeah, no, I know, right? That's a good point. That's a good point. So you know what, Bump Tech Cruise, we're not gonna watch that. We're not gonna watch that. I think we're gonna wrap this up. I'm also kind of tired. I've got editing to do tonight. I want to get these I want to get clips and stuff up on YouTube tomorrow, so we can, like, you know, relive moments from the election night and stuff. And I wanted to kind of give my thoughts there. So I think we're gonna wrap this up. But I mean, it's been fun. I mean, I started around 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I guess 8 hours. That's a full day. So, and they still haven't called it yet, but like we know who spiritually won. So, okay. So he's the spiritual predicted winner of the election in the mainstream media. So, oh, people have been liking some of my posts. I saw one of my replies to Jank earlier got a few hundred likes. That's very cool. You know, Jank's actually had some pretty good takes throughout the election. He's had some cringe takes. He's had some takes that sound kind of astroturfed, but he's also had some pretty good takes. I'd say from like the clearly pro Kamala side. Honestly, I'm not even kidding here. I think Jank had like the most reasonable takes of anybody in that camp. I'll tell you who didn't. Harry Sisson didn't have reasonable takes. He didn't. That dude didn't. Joshua Eagle. Oh man, I haven't checked on him. I don't think he's doing too well tonight. I don't think Project Lib is too happy. Let's see what he had to say here before we end this. Hello, Speaker Jeffries. We need you now more than ever. And there's Hakeem Jeffries there. Like, okay. Okay, so do that in 4 years. Okay. So he's celebrating that Carrie Lake will never be a U.S. Senator. Okay. He says right-wing populism is here to stay in the Republican Party. If Kamala loses, this was 3 hours ago, left-wing populism will be ascendant in the Democratic Party. This would be a worst-case scenario for our institutions, for our prosperity, and for kids' futures. I mean, you know, he's out of touch. So I'm just going to say out of touch take. Populism is necessary to overturn the damage of the neoliberal revolution. There we go. God, and that guy's constantly like, give money to my project, help liberalism win. It's like, why would I give money to that? I can just go to Starbucks if I want to give money to that. I can just go to Walmart and give money to neoliberalism. I can buy a stock in Lockheed Martin or Raytheon and give money to neoliberalism. Why would I give money to you? like like that's just it's such a bad sales proposition because they're also not particularly entertaining. Like I find it fun to be in their replies because like I'm a hater when it comes to that. Like yeah, I'm a hater of neolibs. Okay, guilty as charged, right? I think it's funny, but I don't find their content funny. Like when I've seen their little clips where like there's 3 or 4 of those guys at Project Lib talking together, they're not particularly charismatic, not particularly photogenic, not very well in the zeitgeist in terms of understanding, you know, the vibe of the people. Like that's already out. Like this guy, Ted Cruz. I'm still watching Ted Cruz here, right? You guys don't see Ted Cruz, right? But like he's here. I'm looking at him right here. He understands the vibe of the people better than Project Lip, right? And this is a guy who did the phone banking for Trump after being like a never Trumper and stuff, and talking about how Trump was like a threat and everything back in like 2015, 2016, saying how Trump would be bad for America and everything. This guy has a better handle on like the people and where the people are at than like Project Lib or and like this guy's like, I mean, Ted Cruz looks like he's crying right now. But I mean, now granted, I'm pretty sure Project Lib is crying, so I'm pretty sure Harris is crying right now. So I don't think we're going to be hearing too much about Harris anymore. So obviously, she's still the vice president, but like once January 20th happens, once Donald's inaugurated again, I don't think we'll be hearing too much about Harris anymore. What is she going to do? Run again? No, not going to happen. Tim Walz, okay, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. He fumbled a number of photo ops. I thought it was funny how they're like, oh, Trump's McDonald's thing was a photo op. It was staged. Yeah, so was Tim Walz's bungled hunting excursion. So it's like Uno reverse, basically, you know? So anyway, you know, we're going to wrap this up. I'm looking at OBS right now. I've been live for 7 hours and 47 minutes. And that's not including half an hour of technical problems that took my computer down earlier. So look, we're not going to see 270 before the stream ends. I know, sad, but that's not my fault. That's the mainstream media being lame. So anyway, follow me on X, Kevin Castley, YouTube, Superpower Broadcasting, Twitch, Superpower Broadcasting. Check me out on Patreon, Ko-Fi, and we're going to have a couple GoFundMes going up for different streaming projects and other projects I'm going to be doing. So we're getting back into this. We're so back. Kamala Harris is Jover. Basically, the neolibs are sad and mad, and you know, Trump's back. So we're gonna have 4 more years of memes. We're gonna have 4 more years of like McDonald's fries and stuff. We're gonna have, you know, his little dance. We're gonna have Big Water. We're gonna have Rocket Man. We're gonna have the nicknames. We're gonna have, yeah, we're just gonna have a fun time basically. So that's that. So that's all, folks. So it's fun. Have a good night.